Welcome back to our channel yet again for a dramatic video. This particular topic is my personal favorite. We are going to talk about miniature photography today. This is a very tricky genre, but then it can unleash your imagination and your creativity to another level. Coming up. There are some rules you need to keep in mind and follow when you are creating a miniature photo. There are depth of field, angle, lighting, focus and editing. Let me elaborate. So when I talk about depth of field, I mean that we need to shoot the image with as shallow depth of field as possible. I am using a 50mm 1.8 lens here. This helps me to give a nice cinematic look to the image. Later on when I shoot, you will definitely see what I mean by depth of field, where some part of the image will be blurred and only the subject will be in focus. Moving on to the next. The most important part in miniature photography is the focusing, because if the focusing is not right, everything is just gone for a toss. What I mean here is, now if you see this boy in the screen, he is out of focus, and if I ask my camera to do the autofocus, it will keep shifting from one point to another and create a lot of problems. So what we need to do here is do a manual focusing. Now if you see, I am doing a manual focusing and I got the subject in focus. Now I'm going to remove him because I'm using him as a reference point. You also can do that, and always use a reference object to lock your focus, otherwise you won't know where to get your focus right and it will all go wrong and the picture is not going to look the way you want it to. Now since I have locked my focus, I am going to take a shot. And here we go. Now we are going to shoot our subject in the same angle. As you mentioned earlier, if you remember, I said angle is also a very important part in miniature photography. So now we need to match the angle of the toy which was kept in the setup, and now we are going to ask the main subject to come and sit on the table, and we are going to take his shot with the same angle, matching the angle and the depth of field and the lighting, which I will explain in the next point. Let's do it. So we are now talking about angle. Angle is very important. You just saw how we took a shot of the coffee mug with a small toy figure in that. We kept the toy figure as a reference. Now we are going to replace that toy figure with a human element, and that's why we call it a miniature photography. So now I have to take a shot with the angle matching to the previous shot. If I don't do that right, and no matter what I do in editing, I'm not going to get a really good image or a perfect shot. So I'm going to take a couple of images of my subject whom we are going to replace in the editing with couple of different angles, so that when I go to the edit, if I think something is not right, I can pick and choose from another option. So let us see what we get now. So I'm taking some shots here. Just a moment. Lighting played a very important role in photography in every aspect. So if you see our shot, the setup, we have kept this coffee cup out here, and the source of light is the window. Basically the light is coming from the window towards the coffee mug or the coffee cup, and we have the subject here. Turn around this way. If I would have shot my subject in the opposite direction, the way he's sitting now, it would have been a complete mess, because we are shooting in two different light angles. One is the light coming from the window, and if the subject was facing the opposite side, it's not a match. We have completely messed up the shot. So that's how I matched the light, by also asking the subject to also face the window. So whatever source of light we are getting from the window for the coffee cup and our subject was identical. So it is very important that you match your light correctly. If your lighting is not correct, or it's a total different angle or mismatched lighting, you are not going to be able to correct that mistake in post-production. So very important tip that I wanted to give you before I sign off on this video is that you need to shoot on RAW, because RAW helps you get the best out of the image. and I hope you loved this video as much as I love shooting it for you. We will release the editing part of this in the coming week so that we have part A and part B and you can learn comfortably. I will see you in the next video next week.